We've been going through this series in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John of what's love got to do with it. And today, John gets incredibly practical. How many of us have been in leadership positions where we had people in our ears, or we've been in a situation where we have somebody that's right here, and then you got another person that you're trying to pay attention to, and they're probably a little more quiet, but they're a gem in the rough? Or you have a supervisor who comes in and says, hey, take care of this. That's 3rd John this morning. But what does John point out as his greatest joy with guys? I hear that you're walking in truth. The spiritual condition of your soul is that you're living out, practicing, and making an evidence to the world around you. Hey, I'm living out what it means to be a follower of Jesus. And this is where John's writing and saying, you guys, you need to address this guy. Let's just call him Big D. Diotrephes is not necessarily the easiest name to say. But we've all met a Big D. Have we not? So he rejects authority. He says, I don't want to have anything to do with what this Apostle John has written. And I'm going to be first and foremost in my world. However, they manipulate themselves to get the loudest voice in the room. They work and manipulate it to get it that way. If you want to make yourself first and foremost in every situation, and it's about your preferences and about what you want and what you like, what does that say about how you get along with others? If John says, hey, if I make my way there, I'm going to call this out. I'm going to call out the sin. And the sin is divisiveness. Putting yourself first means that you're willing to create a faction around yourself to have those voices heard loudly to the leadership. We want this done. We want this done. And Big D is going to be our spokesperson. Happens a lot. What does the Bible have to say about that? Titus 3. For a person who stirs up division, after warning him once and then twice, have nothing more to do with him, knowing that such a person is warped and sinful. He is self-condemned. This is the person, like Big D, who thinks he has to have everything his way, be the loudest voice in the room, and to reject the teaching. To say, I am not teachable. I got this all figured out. You need to do it my way. You really want to get to know a family, and you get invited into the kitchen. You go from the front door to the living room, and then into the kitchen. What I'm asking you is, hey, who is it this week that you're going to welcome into your kitchen of your house, of your personal space, to help them along as a co-worker? Because Big D says, hey, we got this church figured out. We don't want nobody new either. No, we don't want other fellow workers because we all got our nice group set up. We like the way we look. No, we don't want anybody new either. Because new people are what? They're different. They might have a great big long beard. They might have a new tattoo or something. They might ride a Harley. Driving people out isn't necessarily Big D's job of saying, you're not allowed to come back. All it is not necessarily being nice. Not necessarily being welcoming. Not necessarily allowing them into the kitchen of where you are as a person, as a believer. John is saying, look at Demetrius by what? What he says? No, let's look at what he has done, his history. And by the way, it has firsthand authentication. Sometimes the people in the local body that need to be equipped and encouraged are the ones that are quiet, not necessarily fighting to be first place in everything. But you can imagine the leadership that's putting all their attention into this cat when they forgot about Demetrius. Or John's reminding them, hey, your ministry isn't only about this one person who causes all the trouble, but it's about a body that you're trying to equip to do the work of ministry. And check this guy out. Twitter, and I want to actually see you face to face. That is an incredible gift that you can give anybody. Is in this time in my life, I donate to you. Pastor Michael has said it well. True discipleship is defined by how much time you're willing to spend with somebody. And sometimes it looks like wasted time. See how all this works together? That's fellowship. Willing to meet time on time, face to face, elbow to elbow, and know that God has got it. And God's given you a family and a team to do it with. And get to know them. Get to know those actual other co-workers. On the back of your connection card there, this morning, God. What will it look like for you to have true fellowship with those that God has called you with, and to have courage in developing those relationships that God has placed in your path. Let's pray.